The other day I did a video on Ghost here, our blue crawdad, even though he is solid white, eating the molting of our other crawdad, America. So I figured I'd do a video on our 4 tanks that we have, or at least a couple of the 4 right now. So this one is our 55. I made a custom stand for it. I work at a custom cabinet shop, so I was able to go in there on after time and build it. But it has all live plants, real driftwood from down by the river, rocks from the area, except for Ashley's little homemade rock cave she did out of some rocks from Walmart and some super glue. We have some purple waffle leaf plant there and there that we picked up at our local pet store. I can't remember the name of that one right now. And then we have some Java. All of our plants except for these little guys here that were started as seeds from Wish. A couple of those. These tall guys here all started from seeds that actually got off of wish.com. This is a red hedge plant. This is a normal hedge plant. And then some more Java. Again, those plants are from the local pet store. Our fish are all from the local pet store now. We did have one, was he a green phantom pleco that we got out of Sioux Falls. But all of these came from our local pet store here in Mitchell. We have some pearl gouramis. We got about a half dozen or so of them guys swimming around. Some of the zebra Daniels swimming around here and there. Yes, we have some algae in the tank. Not too awful worried about it. We have plecos. We got some good big old guys that are getting big. We have a piece of dragonstone there. Got out of pet store in Sioux Falls. This is our chocolate albino pleco, Blondie. He's gotten huge, or she's gotten huge over, I don't know, maybe the 6 months that we've had her. Common pleco here, hiding out, one of the 2 that we have. And if I can find him, which he's right in there. He kind of likes to hide out on the driftwood a lot. He is a chocolate albino super red cross. You can see his tail there a little bit. See if I can block out some of that light there. There you go. Now you can kind of see him a little bit better. He is gotten a lot bigger since we've added him to the 55. He was in our 10. Now on to our 30 long that we have the crawfish in. Again, custom built stand. This hole down here is for the vent that is underneath this, so the air comes up out of the floor and hits a little wooden box setup I made and comes straight out into the room. This stand is not as finished as this one is. May even end up redoing this stand. But this has our crawfish and some orange and blue platies that are turned scared here lately. Caught Mr. America up here chomping down on one the other day. But strong survive in our house. So this is the way it's been with our platies. They've had babies, and the strong will survive, or the weak will die. It's whatever. It's the circle of life. It's the food chain. It's just like it would be out in the wild. But this is Ghost. Gotten pretty big. I'm gonna get Ashley to see if we can get him a little chunk of food here, and get our platies to actually come out and about. Yes, we still have our Christmas tree up, if you see the lights in the background. We have, I know of one platy that is hidden off in this cave, and the camera's not going to focus in on her. Well, there's one of our little orange platies.
Well,
there's another one. They've been rather skittish. And there's Mr. America. He gets a little ornery sometimes if you start messing with him.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, you missed it, Junior. It's like, damn it, Baldy. I caught that one on his tail.
Oh. Now, for whatever reason, these two guys have not gotten into any kind of scrap yet. Which is a good thing. Like I say, this is a 30-gallon long, so they have some room. And they really don't. They kind of run from each other, but I may be wrong here shortly, folks. No. Ghost has always been a bigger crawfish since we got the two of them. We were told that America back there was a Mexican dwarf, and I'm sorry to say that whoever told our pet store that is a liar, because he is not. He's just as big body-wise as Ghost, who is considered just a blue crawfish, the fancy crawfish. There comes some of our platies. We're trying to figure out if maybe we can put some other fish with these guys that are maybe a little quicker than the platies. Thinking about maybe doing some tigers, but I don't know how that'll do. May just keep it crawfish tank with some snails that are everywhere. Some of the plants that came from our pet store came in the little potted deals, and they came with some snails included. So we've taken them and thrown them into our 30, and they are what they are. If the crawdads eat them, the crawdads eat them. Again, the strong survive. Driftwood, again, from the local river. Big rocks from the area, except for another little house that Ashley has made. This bundle of hedge plant is about the only plant that these crawdads, and this one back here, which is a transplant from the same as those big guys there, those seem to be the only plants in this tank that these crawdads have not really ate. They destroyed the java that was on that sign. What's left of our java, big java, is right back up in there, if y'all can see that. This rock there, Ghost, if you can see how that depresses down in there, Ghost actually dug all of that out herself and piled it up around there. You can tell where the gravel's different. We use some different types of gravel. We went to Menards, our local home improvement store here, kind of like Home Depot, and just got river gravel, just basic pea gravel. Washed it, got all the sediment and stuff out of it, and washed it real good. put it in the tanks, and then put some of the better looking kind of aquarium gravel, so to speak, over the top of it. But with crawfish, apparently that doesn't really matter. We've been watching some father fish stuff and a couple other channels that deal with dirted tanks, and we're thinking about doing that. Even though we have crawfish, obviously they are diggers, but you know, they're called mud bugs for a reason. Don't really care. We have fun with them. They're actually really active during the day, or at least ours are. Our temperatures are sitting between 74 to 77, 78 in pretty much all of our tanks. This tank over here with our 2 goldfish and the raptor in the background there. 2 goldfish and the other common pleco that we have, who's back there on the back wall. This tank looks to be sitting about 74-ish, 75. No heater. No custom stand on this one, folks. It's a metal stand. It's just a 20. It only has this power head with the underflow hooked into the underflow system and an air tube. Carbon block over there that's probably not really doing a whole lot of anything, but these guys are getting huge. They were what?
Small to medium.
Small to medium, and they've turned to the larger side now. Again, it's only these 3 fish in this 20 gallons, so that doesn't really matter. They're gonna grow pretty darn big, all 3 of them. Eventually a 125 will be in the plans. Again, 1 natural rock. There's no plants in this one because, you know, goldfish are kind of asses when it comes to plants. Worse than our plecos, and almost as bad as the crawdads as far as our plants go. These guys sit there and clean the gravel just as much as our pleco does. So we feed him pleco wafers. Our light setup on this one is a homemade deal. I took some lights off of a lid that came with a 20 gallon and put them on a board and just kind of stuck them off the stairs. The hoses you see are for a water system that we were using. I can take those down now because we have this little black line here that you see that comes from our RO system upstairs and filters down through the filters and comes down into the tanks there. Custom shelf with our fish foods that we use. Not a huge fan of this one. Unless the fish like it, it dirties up the tank.